Aung San Suu Kyi has been warned she has one last chance to avoid a horrible tragedy as the number of Rohingya refugees fleeing Myanmar nears 400,000. The United Nations chief, Antonio Guterres, has stepped up pressure on the Nobel Peace Prize winner to intervene in the crisis. South Asia correspondent James Bennett reports.
Hundreds of hungry refugees crowd around a truck piled high with supplies, but stuck and in need of a push. Aid is getting in, but it's still nowhere near enough to feed the nearly 400,000 people still largely fending for themselves.
My husband is a blind man. He went out early this morning and begged for food, and if he gets something, then we can eat. Until now, we have never received any aid from anyone since we arrived here 2 weeks ago.
Most of this aid comes from the Bangladeshi Muslim community.
They arrived here in Bangladesh. We have to support these helpless victims.
But the welcome has limits. Bangladesh's government wants to confine the Rohingya to the camps. This letter urges people to report refugees spotted on the move. Authorities have pledged to try and make them more comfortable. 14,000 new shelters are to be built by the army and aid agencies. More, though, keep coming. Hospitals are struggling to cope with the number of people suffering from gunshot wounds and other injuries. Speaking to the BBC, United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has made a final plea to Myanmar's de facto leader Aung San Suu Kyi, urging her to try and rein in the military when she addresses the nation on Tuesday.
If she does not reverse the situation now, then I think the tragedy will be absolutely horrible.
In Myanmar, the fight against the insurgency continues. The conflict, too, has spilled across the border. Bangladesh is accusing Myanmar of repeatedly violating its airspace, warning any more provocative acts could have unwarranted consequences. James Bennett, ABC News.